Welcome to the J.R. Eldridge Show with the head coach of the 2014 Arkadelphia Football Badgers. The production of the J.R. Eldridge Show is made possible with help from Arnold Batson Turner & Turner, attorneys at law. Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments. Austin Wingfield State Farm Insurance. Southwest Sporting Goods. And ESPN Radio 106.9 in Arkadelphia.
Welcome to the J.R. Eldridge Show. I'm your host, Jackson Carter, and here alongside me is head coach of the Arkadelphia Badgers, Coach Eldridge. Coach, thanks for being here this week.
It's great to be here.
All right, so opening up the season in War Memorial Stadium, a place that you'd like to get back to at the end of the season. Started off a little slow, but came out with a great victory over Stuttgart. What are some things that you thought initially after the game?
Well, I just thought our kids really responded to adversity well. We had a lot of adversity in the first half, and more than normal, something that I've never experienced in one half. We, first of all, our tailback went down first play of the game with an ankle injury. Then after that, we turned the ball over 3 times offensively. Real positive off of that in the way they responded, especially our defense in that first half. Our defense really held strong. We only gave up 13 points off of 4 total turnovers throughout the entire game. Only 7 points in the first half off of 3 turnovers. So, that was a real positive that our players know how to respond to adversity. They were never rattled with the adversity. We went into halftime, made some adjustments on the offensive side of the ball to cover up for Alex Buckley being out of the game, adjusted our game plan, and really felt like we had some really good success offensively in the second half, and then defensively continued to play really strong. So really the things that we took away from that game were being able to respond to adversity during the game, then also our defense being able to just continue to hold and giving our offense a chance to get going. And we finally got going, and then it was really over from there. So excited about the way our guys responded to adversity.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the tape. As you said, a little bit slow offensively at the beginning of the game, but then really offensively towards the second half, it was just all over.
Yeah, I felt really good about that, the way that our guys continued just to, especially our offense, once we got into the second half, just continued to grind it out, and again, our defense just continued to hold. One of the real positive things about our game, start off with the kickoff right there, Chris Cervantes, he moved in from Gurdon, did a great job for us. He was our special teams player of the week. You can see Adrian Barrett right there coming down to fill lane 2. Then Nathan Carter setting the edge. One of their base plays for Stuttgart was their jet sweep, and we were able to shut that down and make them to go away from their favorite play. One of our base plays offensively is our bubble, and Jay Brooks Burnham did an excellent job all night of catching that bubble. And then Jeff Blake, I'm really proud of the way that he responded. We gave the football up 3 times in the first half. Here's one of them right here, just a quarterback-running back exchange right there, but proud of the way he responded, proud of the way he ran the football and the way he threw the football as well. You can see Adrian Barrett coming in again. He's just he's a senior for us, doing an excellent job defensively, flying around and making tackles. And
right there you saw Barrett come again off the corner to get the quarterback. And then really another thing was y'all were able to take advantage of mistakes by Stuttgart as well, especially defensively, the lack of their punting. And then we'll see in the highlights, Ty Costers did an amazing job switching field position for y'all, and it really just kept y'all in the fight, especially in the first half.
Yeah, I was really proud of Ty and the way that he punted the football, and then also just the way that he ran the football. He's played some of what we call our cat back before, but he did an excellent job adjusting his game to playing tailback for us. And then, as you said earlier, he was really able to change the field position for us and give us an opportunity to put them in bad situations.
And coming back this year is a very strong defensive line, and as we can see, really just controlled the line of scrimmage most of the night. Anthony Jenkins and Emmanuel Cooper, the 2 guys in the middle, really just dominated the entire game.
They really did. We've got 9 starters back on defense, so that really helps us out as far as the carryover that we had in spring football, and then the way we were able to carry that over into the summer and then into training camp. So really, really pleased with the way our defense carried over their knowledge of what we try to do defensively into the season.
And right there, scoring early, Stuttgart did. You're talking about adversity. Really, what are you telling your guys after this first touchdown by them, and what are you telling them when they get back onto the field?
Well, really, basically, we're not panicking at all. We're just staying within ourselves and making sure that we just keep doing what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, defense is out there a lot in the first half, so they've just got to continue to come to work. Adam Birdwell, senior middle linebacker, he had an excellent game as well, and then hopefully what we're banking on is that defense continues to hold, and then our offense can get rolling, and we did. We were able to do that. We had a huge goal line stand with our defense that really helped us offensively to get motivated and get ready to do something.
And you're talking about right here is the goal line stand, which really was just a huge part of your defense. And y'all were able to stop an option, which seemed to be one of Stuttgart's main plays. And your defense was very disciplined, especially on this drive right here. And then right here, showing strength, controlling the line of scrimmage, and making sure the quarterback didn't get in from the yard line.
Yeah, defensively they did an excellent job here. And I think this first play, Ty makes an excellent cut right there. He gets the jump cut lane, able to get about 15 yards. We don't actually complete a drive on this series, but you can see Jeff Blake running really hard. But then Ty Costers has a huge punt to change the field position, and then after that, offense was really able to get going. And right here, he has to adjust to a bad snap, and then he just boots the ball to change that field position. They get the ball on about the 27-yard line. We're able to hold, and then that's when we get going offensively.
Definitely, and right here, as you see, just linemen play, but then also, as you said, you have 9 guys returning on defense. Your linebackers play great, and then as we see on this play, your secondary also did a great job. Really defensively, just is a very strong point, it seems, for your team.
Yeah, it really is. And again, I mean, you think about Jeff Blake, you think about some of the guys that are out there on offense, especially our offensive line, our quarterback. Those guys really haven't had many snaps in a varsity game. And so I was pleased how they responded. Here we get a good bubble to Ty Costers right here, and we're able to kind of get rolling in this situation. We went to, and Jathan Bowens, he's number 2 in the backfield here. He's still, during this game, he hurt his foot during our training camp scrimmage, and so he wasn't able to, he really wasn't full speed, so we just totally switched our game plan after halftime. Right here you can see Jay Brooks again catching the bubble. He caught that third down conversion earlier to keep our drive alive, and then Ty's able just to be undeniable in the red zone right here. Does an excellent job, 2 runs in a row getting it in the box.
And right there, that the run previous to the touchdown, you can just see the strength right there going up and not only preventing the tackle, but standing the defensive player up and keeping on driving. And that's something not only we saw as strength, but also a lot of speed, as will be evident in the second half. But really, Ty Costers was utilized just in a bunch of various different ways. Yeah,
he really was. He, and he's got that capability. He's got some breakaway speed. He's big and strong, and he is just hard to tackle.
Special teams, obviously, like you said earlier, was a big part right there. A great return, but then also good kick coverage, good point after touchdowns, great punting. Really a good special teams night as well, which makes the rest of the team play better, because if the special teams works, your offense has better field position, defense has better field position, and the team seems to work better.
Really does, and that's another thing that I could have said earlier that we were able to take away from the game is just our players being able to see how everything works together. We're not divided. Special teams goes along with defense, offense goes along with defense and special teams. We've got 2 huge plays right here. First of all, Ty just making a huge cut on our outside zone play. that gave us some good positive yardage. And then Bryant Robinson being undeniable in the way he catches the ball. There was a pass interference called on the play, but he was able to get it anyway. So really positive on that drive right there.
And as we'll see, Bryant Robinson makes a couple other big catches later in the night. And again, you were talking about defense, played great in the first half, but second half they had a little bit more time to rest on the sideline, would come out a little bit more fresh every drive, and really there was nothing for Stuttgart going in the second half.
There really wasn't, and one of the things that we talk about, which goes back years in football, General Neyland's maxims for a game: when the brakes go against you, you got to put on more steam. When you're able to get a break, you got to score with it. And I felt like our guys really put on more steam in the second half. So proud of our guys.
Right here, y'all are able to get onto the outside, utilize your speed, but then also something that was prevalent throughout the game was good blocking on the outside by your wide receivers.
Yeah, perimeter blocking was really good. We kind of opened up our passing game by our bubbles and by the way that we're running the football. Jay Brooks is able to, Jeff Blake's able to connect with Jay Brooks, and he gets in the box there. And that's kind of how our offense is supposed to work. As far as being able to take the space that the defense gives us. Coach Matros was up in the box. He saw that they were giving us that space in the middle because they were trying to protect against the bubble, so we were able to get that play action pass there. Then again, excellent coverage, and we talked, this is a huge hit by Emmanuel, forced fumble right there, and then we're able to get the ball and score right there. But the coverage team works off of our kicks, and we were able to get 100% on our directional kicks, so that really helped our kick coverage. That was a huge play by Emmanuel. So proud of the way he's worked during the summer and during the off season, and it really shows in the way that he's playing in that first game.
One thing to stay up with the defensive line, and it'll cover right here in kickoff. Really good job with gang tackling. On the previous kickoff, there were 9 guys surrounding the player right here, 8 to 9 guys at the end of the play, all blue surrounding it. It was just talk about the how that's kind of taken over in the mentality-wise for your defense.
Yeah, it's been really good. Our defense, one of our principles that we try to live by is 9-5-9. That's 9 players within 5 yards of the ball 90% of the time. Felt like we did an excellent job of that. One of the things that Coach Kaiser, our defensive coordinator, talked about with our defense is our tackling's got to improve. We were not great at tackling versus Stuttgart, but what made up for that was 9 players being within 5 yards of the ball 90% of the time. So the more people that are surrounding the ball, the better chance that we have of cutting down the space that they have on offense and being able to gang tackle.
And coming up right here, obviously Arkadelphia, Stuttgart's driving the football. Your defense is able to bend, but then right here plays great defense, able to see this reverse screen in a way, and really your defense forces forces a turnover on downs, and then gets the ball back to a guy like Ty Costers, who really can just move the ball down the field.
Yeah, and the Bailey Goza was really key on that play, on that last play. Bailey, just another testament to off-season work, summer work. Bailey has just improved a ton, so excited about him. And then Bryant Robinson right here on this touchdown. Jeff Blake really did a good job of seeing that, getting the ball up so that Bryant could go over the defenders and catch that football. So really proud of the way that our guys just that second half just poured it on right there. Another bright spot for our offense is our offensive line play. We've got really no returning starters on the offensive line, but I feel real good about the movement that we're capable of getting for our running game, and then also for our protections. We really worked the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday, since we had those days open. We really worked on our protection, and I feel like our offensive line has gotten a ton better.
And right there, your defensive line able just to take the football away, setting up great field position. And as you said, when you get breaks, you have to take advantage of it. And right there, Costers gets the screen, and showed some speed right there, splitting the defenders, and then Jeff Blake again, good maturity shown not to force the football, and then he runs it in for himself for the 2-point conversion.
He really did. That's a great job by Jeff. You know, we were trying to get it into the mercy rule. I mean, not to do anything other than to get the clock to run. I mean, that's why we went for the 2-point conversion, so that clock could run continuously. We were able to do that. He has a run-pass option on that bootleg, so he did an excellent job of seeing that it was covered up and then running the football in. And I felt really good about how hard our guys played, even toward the end of the football game, and just trying to put on more steam. So just pleased with the way they ended up playing at the end of the game.
And right there, as we saw, a blocked field goal or point after touchdown attempt right there, showing good speed off the edge. And at this point, the game's well in hand, and so it seems like some of the younger guys got to get in there and get a few snaps. And talk about the importance of, especially so early in the season, getting some newer faces out there and getting some real game time experience.
Oh, it's really, really good because, you know, here's the thing. A lot of those guys are one play away from having to come in. Mm-hmm. And that's what we talk about to our guys is we don't want anybody on our football team to be a limiting factor. If you have to go into the game because somebody's hurt or somebody needs a break, we don't want anybody on our team, whether it be defense, offense, special teams, we don't want anybody on our team being a limiting factor to what we do offensively or defensively. And I think in practice, if our players are able to keep that in mind and are able to practice in such a way that they're not a limiting factor, but in fact they increase our ability to be able to do the stuff that we do offensively, defensively, and on special teams, then we're going to be in real good shape. You were talking about younger guys. Shamar Dickens comes in at Cap for us, does a good job of protecting the football, running the football. So he's going to be good for us even this year. But just like I said, they've got to know that at any point in time, their number could be called to go into the game.
Well, it was definitely a great first game to start off with. Now let's send it on down to Arkadelphia High Schools for player interviews.
Hi, I'm Chelsea, and I'm here at Badger Stadium. I've got a few players with me today, Jay Brooks and Alex Buckley, and I'm going to ask them a few questions. So, Jay Brooks, how does it feel to be in a leadership position?
It's a big role to play, but you go to work every day and just show these kids what's up and just do what you got to do, and that's it.
How have your coaches prepared you for your role and for this season as a whole?
The off season was pretty tough, and we went through a lot, but it's prepared us for this season.
What are some of your expectations for this season?
We want to win, of course, but just give the fans a good show and just have fun doing it.
Sounds good. And what are your plans for after graduation?
Attend college, but I don't know where yet. So.
Sounds good. And Mr. Alex Buckley, how does it feel for you to be in a leadership position this year?
It feels really great to step up and be a leader, but just like Jay Brooks said, you got to go to work every day and show the younger kids what it's about.
What are some of the other activities that you're involved with on campus?
I'm on the baseball team, and I just really like hanging out with friends.
And what are your plans for after graduation?
I'm planning on attending the University of Ouachita and playing football.
Sounds great. And what is your favorite part of being on the football team?
Really playing under J.R. Eldridge. It's one of the best coaches I've ever had, and he's a great inspiration.
Reporting from Badger Stadium for the J.R. Eldridge Show, I'm Chelsea.
Underwriters for the J.R. Eldridge Show include Austin Wingfield State Farm Insurance, Southwest Sporting Goods, ESPN Radio 106.9 in Arkadelphia, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold Batson Turner & Turner, Attorneys at Law. Here again is Jackson Carter.
Coach, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the scores from around the conference and around the state. Obviously, Arkadelphia with the big win, 42-13 over Stuttgart. Fountain Lake with the big win over Little Rock Christian, 40-30. Mina beats DeQueen, 41-21. Malvern over Glen Rose, 39-0. Nashville beats Hope, 53-10. Ashdown beats Durant, Oklahoma, 29-12. Mansfield beats Waldron, 34-14. Pulaski Robinson beats Bauxite 31-14, and then our next week opponent, Sheridan, beats Little Rock McClellan 33-12. And just kind of look at some of the upcoming games. Malvern at Lake Hamilton should be a good game. DeQueen at Nashville, Ashdown at Hope, Hot Springs, who will be 2 weeks away opponent, at Mina. Bauxite plays at Glen Rose, Jessieville at Fountain Lake, Paris at Waldron, and then the game of the week this week, Sheridan at Arkadelphia. So, Coach, Sheridan's been kind of a team that we played for a few years now. What are some of the things that you're prepping your guys getting ready for this next game?
Well, Sheridan's a well-coached football team. Coach Lewis Campbell at Sheridan does an excellent job, and they've kind of gone to a different offensive scheme, a lot like what Harding does in the Great American Conference. So they're going to be running the triple option, and that's always tough to defend. So we've got to do a good job of playing assignment football on defense, taking the fullback away, making the quarterback pull it, and then making him pitch it. So hopefully we can create turnovers because the more options they have, hopefully the more likely they are to put the ball on the ground. So we're going to be working on that this week to try to make sure, number one, we take care of our assignment on defense, and then number two, we try to create those turnovers. So that'll be kind of tough and different because not a lot of people run the triple option. In our conference, we're not used to facing it in practice, so we've got to do a good job of giving a look as well in practice. Offensively, they do a good job on defense of bending but not breaking. They try to keep the ball in front of them. Kind of our game plan going into it, we're going to try to run the football, and then open up those play action passes and hit those play action passes and create those opportunities for our offense to make big plays. But again, as much as we're going to focus on Sheridan, we're going to focus that much more on what we do offensively and defensively. We've got a good game plan in place for them. And we're going to try to win with effort and execution throughout the week in practice. And if we can do that in practice, we believe that it carries over into the game. So I think our players are excited about going to practice again this week and ready for another opponent.
First home game of the season, but then also a big deal because it's the first home game on your brand new turf field. A lot of excitement surrounding that. Do you think that's going to add a little bit more excitement or energy to the game coming into this next week? Or?
Well, I hope it does, especially for our community. All Care Field at Badger Stadium is just an unbelievable place now because of the change in our surface. We were able to this summer. Our community really got behind the project. And they were able to, first of all Care, and then 10 other sponsors that really wanted to help in our community, and so they've also got their logos on our turf, and we're looking forward to giving our business back to them because of what they've done for us. So I'm really excited about just the community atmosphere that just this field has created. And hopefully people will want to come out to that game. Hopefully people will continue to support Badger football the way they have. I feel great about where we are as far as our support. Last year at almost I think everywhere we went, we outnumbered the home crowd, and I feel like our fans do a better job. We went to War Memorial last week on Monday, and we practically doubled the amount of Stuttgart fans that were there. So that's a real positive thing, I think, for our community and for our players. Our players, we've been practicing on our new turf. We're excited about it. At the end of the day, for our players, it comes down to winning with effort and execution, and that's what we're going to focus on in practice, and hopefully it shows in the game.
Talking about your players, a lot of changes in this offseason. coaching staff-wise, but then also switching your players in position-wise with Jeff Blake coming from defense, Alex Buckley coming from defense. Talk about how your players have responded to the it's not necessarily adversity, but just the abundance of changes that have happened in your program.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we like to try to teach our players is being able to adapt. And I feel like we've done a good job as a staff being able to adapt to. We had a couple coaches leave, which is going to happen, especially at our level. So our coaching staff has adapted well. Coach Kaiser's done an excellent job with the defense. He's now coordinating the defense. Offensively, myself, Coach Streetman, Coach Matros. And then defensively, Coach Kaiser, Coach Brumfield, Coach Hart with the linebackers. We've still got stability on our staff, which is really exciting. But it's also been exciting to see the way that the players have responded. Defensive line, we lost Butch Alexander, and Coach Brumfield's done an excellent job motivating those defensive linemen. And you can see by the way they played on Monday night how intense. Just the effort, the execution, he's done an excellent job there. Our defense looks very similar to what it has in the past. Coach Kaiser's done an excellent job there. He already knew our defense because he was a student assistant of mine at Ouachita when I was a defensive coordinator, and he's just done an excellent job of calling the game. He called a great game versus Stuttgart. So. And our players, they seem not to miss a beat. And sometimes we talk about being a machine, and no matter what part is missing, another part takes over, and hopefully we just keep on clicking. So excited about the way our players have responded and our coaching staff has responded.
Got just a couple of minutes left. Let's quickly just talk about this senior class and how they've started so far, being leaders on the field, and how they've done, especially coming into the season.
Yeah, I think our seniors have done an excellent job. Our captains, Jay Brooks Burnham, Alex Buckley, June Bug, Anthony Jenkins Jr., and then Emmanuel. All four of those guys have done an excellent job up to this point of really trying to hold our team accountable to the decisions they make on and off the field. And then, another thing is I feel like this senior class is very vocal as far as leadership goes, and then trying to teach them to lead by example, and they've done an excellent job up to this point. We had a great training camp, everybody showing up, ready to prepare for a great season.
Well, Coach, that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks for talking football, and I look forward to talking more next week.
Thank you so much.
The Arkadelphia Badgers take on the Sheridan Yellow Jackets this Friday at home. We'd love to see you there, but if you can't make it, be sure to listen to 106.9 FM, available also on the ESPN radio app, as Dr. Jeff Root, myself, and Brandon Smith had the call. For Coach Eldridge, I'm Jackson Carter. Have a great week.
The J.R. Eldridge Show is sponsored by Southwest Sporting Goods, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, ESPN Radio 106.9 in Arkadelphia, Arnold, Batson, Turner & Turner, attorneys at law, and Austin Wingfield State Farm Insurance. Join us again next week for more Badger football action with Jackson Carter and head coach J.R. Eldridge.